What's up? Welcome back to my channel. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. What it do, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. How y'all doing today? Welcome back to my channel. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. Seriously though, hey y'all. Hey, how you doing? Long time no see. I have not uploaded in a while, but I felt the spirit today. Like I needed to get up and do something. So coming to y'all with a video. Right now, I'm always coming to y'all casual. You're not finna see me beat for a minute, but while I'm doing, anyways, let me get into it. What it's supposed to be about. But while I'm doing this video today, it is a full moon in Leo. As y'all know, I'm a Leo moon. So I had that little extra boost today. And it's transiting my ninth house. Ninth house is the house, as we know, of higher knowledge and wisdom and intellect and things of that nature. So I thought I would just put some knowledge out here for y'all. So lately, right? Not lately, but lately as of like for a few years, I have been really deep into Ancestry, right? And so I'm actually gonna link some stuff down below because I have found like this little website where you can trace your family ancestry and it's free. And so it's not so thorough like what can I say compared to like ancestry.com. Like ancestry.com has a lot more stuff, but it was pretty close. Like it had a lot of information. It had a lot of documents and things. Even though ancestry.com is like a lot better, I used both. I had used my free trial, because I wasn't paying for that. But I used my free trial and I ended up finding like a lot of information. I had traced back my great grandfather on my father's side. And so it turns out he was a slave and he was on the McGuire plantation in Tennessee. And so that means that he was a slave. Which lots of people was, but I know I have indigenous like people in my family as well. I haven't found too much information on that. They did say they had my grandmother listed as a mulatto, which that just means like when they saw her she looked mixed or something. So we don't know what's going on with that, but I'm trying to keep going. But my grandmother is actually still alive. She just had a birthday. It was January the 5th and she turned 96. And so I like to sit and talk to her on her birthday and stuff because she always try to act like she don't know who I am, but she's so smart and she still can like remember all of her she can remember her parents, her grandparents, like she knows their names, their birthdays, where they were born, all of that. And so she tried to play dumb with us, but we know she's smarter than what she be acting like. And so I had actually got into the astrology aspect of it. One day I was like by myself. And so I was just, looking up all the charts in my family, like my mom, my dad, and my sister, and, my grandmother and all of that. And so my grandmother, when I did her chart, my great grandmother actually, when I did her chart, she is a Capricorn, but she had a Libra moon, right? And so then her daughter, which is my grandmother, is a Libra. She's a Libra sun sign, but she's a Cancer moon. And then my mother, she's a Libra sun sign and a Cancer moon. And then I had a grandmother on my father's side who I loved so dearly. She was like, I don't like to play favorites, but like she was like, I grew up with her. So she was like my mother figure type stuff. But she was a Libra sun, Cancer moon. So looking at these charts, like I was just noticing a lot of patterns and it wasn't just with like the signs, it was with the placements as well. And in my family, we have like very heavy Pluto energy. And so I can definitely see through that where like the trauma has just not been healed within my family. There was lots of mental illness as well that I could see. Like people had heavy 12th house placements. Like it was just a bunch going on. So I definitely see where that reflects in my life. Like seeing, the charts put together, like my mother and my father's chart. As I said, my mother is a Libra sun And in my chart, I have a very balanced chart, like between the elements. So I've got a good even amount of like all of the elements within my chart, and I feel like I get that from my mother and the women before me. You know, they were Libras, and so that balance is there. And then I'm a Gemini Venus and Mercury, and my father is a Gemini sun sign. And then I'm an eighth house dominant being. I'm a Scorpio ascendant. I have Pluto on my ascendant. I have Sun in the eighth house. Like, just a bunch. Like, my Venus is on the cusp of the seventh and eighth house. So I'm very much an eighth house being, and critical degrees like within the Scorpio area. And my Pluto is, and so it's just like things that I was noticing within my family line. And so this got me feeling like, and this is kind of like the point of the video now, shadow work. So I had been looking into shadow work because it was like I'm still learning too, right? Like I'm an up and coming astrologer. And so there are things that I'm trying to grasp as well. I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to break those curses. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why that resonated with me so well. Like over the past few years, I feel like my generation, the kids that graduated around 2013, we have been out here striving to break generational curses. So the people before us, which is like my mom, well, not my mom's generation, but like my aunt's generation and things of that nature, I feel like they were just like coming out of that era where they were like trying to heal from all the past traumas of slavery and, oppression and things of that nature. So it's like our generation we're like the doers, we're the innovators, we're people who, like, we cannot imagine having a job. We hate this shit. Like, we hate jobs. Like, our generation of people, we're like, y'all used to clock in all day. Like, no, we can't handle that. Like, we want work to be fun. We want work to be about our passions. Like, we want to make money doing things that we love to do. We don't want to do things just because we have to do them anymore. So I'm really excited to see like the generation after mine, like generations, after me, they're really going to be the innovators. Like we've come a long way, but I'm just so excited to see like how far they make it. But anyways, the point of the video that I wanted to get into was shadow work. And so from my research and my own little gist of it is like shadow work, I feel like has to do with the 7th house, the 8th house, and the 12th house. Because these are all houses where things are like hidden in a way. And I'm going to explain that. And so, for example, the 7th house. So it's not that things in the 7th house are hidden. They're more like things that we don't associate with. So it's almost like it's hidden within us. And then it takes for us to meet someone that is of this energy to bring it to our awareness that, like this is an issue. This is something that you're missing. This is something that, well, not missing because we're all whole beings, of course, but this is something that you really need to work on. Okay. And so it's so ironic for me because I have Gemini in my 7th house, which places my Mercury and my Venus there. And so as a Gemini Mercury person, you would think like, oh, you're very good at, I'm supposed to be very good at communicating and like, conveying messages and things of that nature, which I am, but I'm not. Like, I'm really not. And I really didn't notice this until I got into a relationship and I started having kids, and I'm kind of like forced to be an adult, and I have to handle adult things. Like I have to call people and give them information and get information, and like things just get lost in translation is what I'm starting to notice. Like I really have to work on my communication. Like it's something, because in my head, right, this is what's going on all day. Like talking. I'm thinking, and I'm having full blown conversations within my head, right? But then on the outside, I'm not saying as much as I feel like I am. And so I'm horrible at communicating. Like I really that's something that I've really been working on over the past few years is effectively communicating to people. But communication is something that just I struggle with, period, in my life. Like other people struggle to communicate with me. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I have had to realize that that's something that I have to work on, right? And so in my family's chart, I see that as well. Like lots of communication. I was raised by all air signs. Like I'm talking about almost everybody is an air sign. My mother, my father, his mother, my mother's mother. Like they're all air signs. So lots of communication and things. But it's almost like I've been given the challenge to actually put it into action, like to actually recognize it. Like this is something outside of you that you need to be aware of. And my partner, he has a third house stellium. Third house is like the home of Gemini. So communication and things of that nature. So he's really good at communicating. And that's how I actually kind of found out that I was a bad communicator, because I'm more of like a feelings, telepathy, which is like everybody's not like that. You have to learn how to communicate. You have to learn how to properly give and receive information. So that's something that I've really been working on. And then Venus being there, Venus is on the cusp, as I said, of my 7th and 8th house. So lots of times when I was growing up, feeling like I was missing love in some sort of way, just having to realize that these things are right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like these are things that you have to work on. Giving love was something that was hard as well. Like it's almost like I didn't associate with it. Like I felt like, and I feel like this ties into my son being in the 8th house as well, because the 8th house is more so things that you purposely hide. And when it comes to the 8th house, you're hiding these things. Like, this, but you have to ask yourself, why? Like, why am I hiding these things? Like, why is this so important for someone not to know, And then I started to realize, like, the more research that I did, it started to make sense. It's because 8th house beings, people with heavy 8th house placements, or Pluto people, we deal with power struggles. Like that is a huge theme within our life, is power struggles with other individuals, with just circumstances and situations. Like we're always dealing with power struggles, and we don't want to lose our power. And so what is the sun? The sun represents the I am. It's in the 8th house. So I'm purposely hiding who I am lots of times. And I had to ask myself, why are you doing this? And it's because I don't want to lose the power of how I'm seen, right? Having Scorpio as my ascendant and Pluto in my ascendant as well. And then I'm a Virgo midheaven. Like it all just ties into me. Like I'm a person who actively wants to have control of how I am seen by other people. So it's almost like I had to ask myself, again, why is this? And so when you look at your parents' chart, it really helps you to realize why it is that you're dealing with these things, right? And so if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, I have to take a double look at this, but I know my mother is a Scorpio ascendant, but I think she had Pluto in it was either in her 7th house. I don't know. I have to look at it, but it was in a placement that made sense, to where it was like, I could almost come to the conclusion that she was dealing with such trauma when she was born, when she was pregnant with me, that it got passed down to me. And I know this to be true because it's almost like your kids take on traits so that they can survive the things that you feel like you were so powerless in, the things that you could have better done. They have those skills to survive those things. And if you take a look at your kids, I promise you will see like situations that you were going through while you were pregnant with them. They are champs at that. Like they're the best at those situations. Like they hold all of the qualities necessary to survive that situation. And so it shows within my daughter as well, because she's a Aquarius moon and she's a Sagittarius sun sign. So when I was pregnant with Luna, I had very bad attachment issues. Like, I did not want to let stuff go. Like, things were changing, and there were things that I had made decisions to change, but I didn't want to necessarily make those changes. I couldn't detach from things that should have been detached from. And so we know Aquarius is the sign of detachment. Like, it's, associated with detaching. Like, Aquarius can look at feelings for what they are. That's why it's the water bearer. So Aquarius can see, that's just a principle. Like, Aquarius can see feelings for what they are. And so they're good at detaching from things that aren't necessarily good for them, And so my daughter definitely possesses the qualities that I needed at that time. Like, I needed to be able to let go of things. And she's really good at that. Like, she's so standoffish. It's ridiculous. Like, Luna is very standoffish. But anyway, and then moving on to the 12th house now, because I have to go and do something. But moving on to the 12th house. So the 12th house is the subconscious. This is the house where we're unconsciously hiding things. So these are things that you don't know you're hiding. So when you take a look at your 12th house, it's all going to make sense to you. My 12th house is in Scorpio as well, because I have overlapping houses. It carries over into my first house. So Scorpio being in the 12th house, it's almost like it all ties in, You're hiding that need for power. You're hiding that that need for transformation. You're hiding this underlying, it's almost like underlying, what can I say? There's a hidden element to your subconscious that if you were to just step into this power, if you were to just release some of this, what you think is power, right? You would actually have power. So I really had to realize these things. And my mother is a very headstrong woman. Like, she's so headstrong, and she doesn't want to feel like a man can get over on her, or anybody can get over on her at all. And so I'm here to realize that the conclusion, well, this is the conclusion that I came to. I'm here to realize that some things that you see as power, if you would just let it go, you would actually have power. Like, you would actually have that power. And so this is just some knowledge that I wanted to put out there for you guys. If you're trying to do some sort of shadow work, I would say take a look at those houses, the 8th house, the 7th house, and the 12th house. It's going to tell you a lot about things that you deal with. And then karma, I would take a look at your Saturn placement. My Saturn placement is in my 4th house of family. And I definitely feel like I rack up a lot of karma from my family and I deal with karmic issues that have to do with my family. My family has dealt with sexual abuse, like my grandmothers and their sisters being sexually abused by their grandfather or their father. Someone who's supposed to protect you, and he takes advantage of you. So those things, that passes through the womb. Like, your children do take on these traumas, right? And so I'll talk about that in another video, though, because I was a virgin until I was like 20, like for a long time. And it wasn't because I was scared. It wasn't because I was insecure. Like, I really just felt like I had to protect that part of me at all costs. Like, that was power. To me, that was power. That was one of them things. That was power. But yes, that's just a short video, guys. I'm gonna come back to y'all with some more stuff, because I like talking about, I'm an 8th house person. I like getting deep and talking about occultic stuff like that. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna chat some more. But y'all have a lovely day. I am enjoying this Leo moon, and I hope you are too. Thank you.